Hello and welcome back to my channel. So sorry if I'm looking like an absolute piece of shit. I was just literally working on a certain costume for later in the year, wink wink, and then suddenly I had a YouTube notification on my phone that said that Alton Towers had posted something. So once again, Towers screws me over by releasing something without like putting any kind of tease or notification. Like when I did the kind of Scarefest speculation video, they released a little thing on their Instagram story, like a little kind of question mark tease thing. Nothing ever came of that. I mean, the website had a few little details on it, but nothing like this, like a kind of trailer. So fortunately, I haven't been spoiled by it just yet. I have seen the thumbnail for it, which kind of worries me, because in the last video I said, I'll eat my hat, which I don't have if the attic returns. So yeah, I'm hoping to God I don't have to eat my hat on this one, because yeah, the governess kind of appears in the thumbnail for the video, so that's worrying. From what I've seen really briefly from people who messaged me, thanks to Chloe and to Elise as well, Sophisticoasters, for letting me know about this before it came up. They said that it's only kind of an announcement of how many attractions there are and saying what the returning ones were, so I thought it kind of was enough to do for a video, but yeah, it doesn't tell you what the new attractions are going to be yet, so that's a plus side, I guess. So what I might do is, if this doesn't have like enough for like a full video, which I don't think it will, then I'll wait till the new mazes or whatever, the new attractions have been announced, and then make this all one big Scarefest lineup reaction video. I mean, if they release like a long Altonville trailer, then you know, that's something that I could do like 25 or 45 minutes on, so I can't remember how long the reaction was for that last time, but it was certainly longer than like the Burial Grounds one. Anyway, so this video has been released to YouTube. What I will say to Towers is thank you for actually releasing it to YouTube this time, because last year they only released it on Twitter, which meant I had to like download the video, put it into VLC player, and then the kind of one frame at a time thing was very difficult to do. But I will say as well, on these trailers that they've done for like the autumn events, really good job on them. Like, you know, they've done like proper like 3D models and stuff for some of the Scarefest stuff. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing this trailer. As I say, it's not going to reveal what the new attractions are going to be, but I believe it reveals how many things are going to be on the lineup, what the returning ones are. Hoping to God it's not the attic, but going by the thumbnail, I think it might be. So let's look in the description first. This was released 45 minutes ago. So as I say, I've been busy on my costume today. So yeah, I had to like kind of go away from that. I'm kind of in between some spray layer coat things. So yeah, so days and nights of spooks and frights. Lovely rhyming there. Welcome to the home of Halloween. Indeed it is. Scarefest at Alton Towers Resort invites you to take on award-winning spectacular scare attractions, seasonal entertainment, spellbinding overnight stays. Might be tempted by doing one, it depends. Depends how much I've got. And enough atmosphere to provide tricks and treats for the whole family. Experience over 40 exhilarating rides and attractions, including world-class roller coasters. Join the spine-tingling frights with brand new scare attractions, so it does confirm that there is going to be some new scare attractions. I mean, we knew that with the Dungeons one already, so yeah, enjoy. But it does confirm multiple attractions though, which again, we knew from the constructions. It just depends if there's 2 or 3. I think I saw a notification on Discord, which may have kind of spoiled that for me, but we'll see. I don't know, maybe they're wrong. I don't know. And enjoy an awesome lineup of spectacular family entertainment and frights. We'll see about that. We'll see if it's an awesome lineup or not. I'll be Mr. Judgy McJudgerson here from Judgetown and see if it's. I'll have my full kind of critique on. I'll be like Craig Revel Horwood from Strictly, and yeah, see if it's good enough or not. So yeah, let's get into the video. I've kind of seen the first little bit of it, but it didn't reveal any spoilers or anything. I had to check for the audio levels and stuff, which are probably still going to be way too loud, but. Yeah, let's see what's going to be on Scarefest 2024. Exciting.
Scarefest is back!
Indeed it is.
There are more spooks and frights than ever before.
I'll just watch through all the way through before going frame by frame. Just on this frame though, I remember going through Trick or Treat Town with Skin Snatcher and scaring this granny character so much. She was so traumatized, it was great.
2 brand new scare attractions.
Okay, I'll pause on these bits. So 2 brand new attractions, so I think I know what that means.
Extra dates. As the sun rises, get ready for some spooktacular family fun. Enjoy fantabulous rides.
Play some new shows.
Your favorite friends. But then, as the night draws in, get
Come on.
ready for the most terrifying Scarefest ever. Only the bravest of souls should enter with brand new, heart-pounding scare attractions. It's the ultimate adrenaline-fueled experience.
Is it going to actually confirm what that lineup is, or?
Days and nights of spooks and frights. Book now at altontowers.com.
Right, okay, so that's the trailer then. So does that actually confirm that what the lineup is, or are we just going by the images just to see? I might just go onto the Alton Towers website just quick just to see if it actually confirms what the lineup is or not. Right, so there's no kind of lineup announcement confirmed on the website yet, but it does say 2 brand new scare attractions, which means it looks like it's only going to be the one at the dungeons and then the one behind Curse, because we've been hearing rumours of this whole thing that the one at Darkest Depths isn't going to be done on time, which in that case I just don't really see why you continue construction on it. Like, focus on the attractions you're actually going to have, not building a construction which you're never going to get to use. I mean, I've heard it might be storage or something like that, but it's like, you know, don't keep working on it if you can't actually open it. But also there's another thing on the website which I was just going to point out, which is this Platinum Scarefest VIP package, which I'm probably not going to go for, but there is one thing on this where it's like, if they do this separately, I'd really want it. So you get like express car parking, I get it free anyway in my pass, which has actually been recently renewed as well. Platinum Fast Track, again, I feel like you could reduce a lot of the price of this if you just take off the Fast Track, because I don't go there for rides, really, so there's not really much point in it. Freestyle Vessel, I already get a free one with my pass, unless if it's like a specific Scarefest one, which would be cool. VIP merchandise, it'll probably just be some merch from the shop, wouldn't it? Digital Unlimited Photo Pass, I don't mind paying my 20 quid a month or every 3 months or whatever. Personal welcome letter, I believe you get that most of the time in the hotel, don't you? I think. VIP host, that'd be kind of cool, I guess. Meal voucher, guess it saves on food, but again, I don't mind paying. But then this is the main thing, Ultimate Maze ticket with fast track entry. Now, there's 2 bits to this, but for starters, the Ultimate Maze ticket, it's making me think that it's going to be like the, is it like the Fearless Frights Pass or something like that? That Thorpe did. I probably got that name wrong. But for Fright Nights, they've done this thing where you can essentially get unlimited mazes throughout the entire season. It's making me think, is that going to be what that is? But maybe that might just be for a day, I'm not sure. Maybe it just means it's just like another name for a combi. But it would be nice if they did something like that for Scarefest. Like, you could go through as many mazes as you want throughout the entire season. That would help. The interesting thing, though, is it says Fast Track. Scarefest mazes have not had fast track in the past. I believe some of Thorpe's might, but Scarefest hasn't. So that's interesting that they're going to be having fast track. Maybe at the exit of some of them. Like, I'm trying to think with Altonville how they'd do a fast track for that. But yeah, that's really interesting that they might be getting fast track for mazes. So unless if it's just going to be like you shove them through the queue or something. I don't know. But yeah, so there's no kind of confirmation yet about what is specifically going to be on the lineup. But we have clips in this where we can kind of infer what's going to be on the lineup. So at the moment, I'm not going to eat my hat yet, just because we haven't actually had an officially confirmed lineup, but I'll go through these clips and it will kind of suggest, but until we actually get it kind of written down, I'm not eating my hat yet. Right, so we've got Alton Ancestors here, which, yeah, I was assuming they were going to return. Really cool shot here, by the way, of them at night. And then Trick or Treat Town, so we've got like the kind of witchy character here, suggesting Trick or Treat Town might come back. And then this is one of the roaming actors from Trick or Treat Town, which I don't believe they've had in a while. Also, I don't know what this, I just pressed a random button. There we go. But yeah, this is all Trick or Treat Town. That reminds me of Doug from Dead Good Ghost Tours. A little reference for Chloe there. Then yeah, there's the granny character, which yeah, as I mentioned, I met her once in Skin Snatch and she was just like, oh, I'll just give you all the treats you want. Like, so funny. Just like, please don't take my skin. But yeah. And then we've got more Alton Ancestors here, by the pumps, by the pumpkins. Yeah, and then 2 brand new scare attractions. I'm assuming it's just that either it's that the Darkest Depths site one isn't going to be done, or they're not counting one of them as a scare attraction. They might be counting it as a family attraction. But then again, if it's like Darkest Depths, that was counted as a scare attraction, just a more kind of family one. So I don't know, we'll have to see. I mean, I would imagine with 2 brand new attractions, if there was 3, they would count it as 3 attractions, or they'd say 2 brand new scare attractions and 1 new family attraction, I guess.
And extra dates as the sun rises. Get ready for some spectacular family fun. Enjoy fun.
Hopefully some new shows. That would be nice if we could get some new shows, please. I beg of you. Like in the Scarefest speculation, when I said some ideas that you could have had, but yeah, just at least try and update them a bit, because they are getting a bit stale at this point.
Fabulous rides.
Fantabulous rides. You choose Runaway Mine Train. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Runaway Mine Train. There are some of the fantabulous rides that you could have chosen. Oh yeah, favourite friends. Curse Alton Manor. The cat box, which is adorable and kind of scary at the same time. I like this, how they kind of do a bit of a transition. That's cool.
Get ready.
Also some nice new shots from the new mazes in here as well, like with Tiny. So yeah, so we've got Tiny, his lovely gas mask face. Also, is this actually, yeah, it is on HD, it's just still a bit pixelated. Yeah, with the eye goggle things taken out. Yeah, we can just see his eyes in there, which is really creepy. But yeah, nice that they got some new footage from these as well. Then that's one of the unrendered, I think, from yeah, because I think the NPCs were like the kind of vampire ones. These are the unrendered, who were kind of creepy in a way. Like, I think, like, as I say, anything with a mask makes it a bit more creepy in a maze. Then you got burial grounds. They did. Oh, I was just about to say they didn't wear that mask, but they did. I thought that was like a sack mask that they had from the trailer, but no, that's one of the better masks that they had. To be fair, it was the Wish ones that were just awful, like the kind of faux leather pig ones and the random Batman ones that they had. Like, they were weird, but these ones were good. And then we have someone from the attic. Again, I'm not taking this as full-on confirmation until we get, like, I imagine by the time I do like a reaction to like the new mazes that are going to be there, I imagine we'll have a confirmation of what the lineup specifically is going to be when the maze tickets release as well. So at that point I might eat my hat. For now, no. Not yet. Then we got Tiny at the exit with the shitty chainsaw ending. I'm sorry, I just don't like chainsaw endings, really. It is also a bit weird as well that, I mean, I get why Tiny has to look a bit different here, because you can't really have the helmet on with the ear defenders, but it does make him look a little bit less. It's like a little bit less of like an imposing silhouette in a way. But yeah, I'm just not really into chainsaw endings. That is creepy, to be fair, when they stare at you. Like, I think it's the eyes. That does make it a bit creepy. Like the dilated pupils. Again, when I say like with analog horror and stuff, when they have kind of like those dilated pupils and stuff, yeah, like, makes it a bit creepy. And then I just really, I'll tell you the reason why I don't want the attic to come back. It's like, as I say, it's not fresh, but also if they can't get this new attraction in place and so the attic's a replacement for that, I would rather them have the actors and the budget from the attic, because obviously there'll be some budget going towards it with like electricity costs and stuff like that, and, you know, maintenance and upkeep, and the actors that you'd have to pay. I'd rather all that be spread between the other mazes rather than go towards the attic. I'd rather have one less thing on the lineup, because, I mean, if you think about it, kind of what we got confirmed is Altonville, Tiny's Revenge, Panic, and then these two new attractions. Like, that would still be 4 scare attractions on the lineup, plus Burial Grounds, plus, I'm assuming, Trick or Treat Town. Like, that's still a good lineup. Like, you know, like 2 pretty fresh attractions and 2 brand new ones. Like, I'd rather have all of the budget and the actors and the time and dedication be spread between those mazes than bring back a maze which is just stale. Now, there is the possibility that they're going to change things in the attic. Again, I would still rather that budget and time and effort go towards the other mazes, personally. Like, I'd rather have one less thing on the lineup and the rest of the mazes be a bit more stable and a little bit better and, you know, more care and time and dedication gone to them, rather than have the attic come back. I don't know. Again, technically not fully confirmed, but we'll have to see. I'll wait. I won't do like a full kind of confirmation till we've actually had the lineup properly in writing announced on some form of post. Then this is Sin Bin. Again, would be nice to see a bit more of a freshen up with this. I did like the stage from that last year, to be fair, with like a random kind of foam box thing which was there for no reason. And then here we got one of the cheerleaders from Tiny's Revenge. Again, cheerleaders were the best ones from Tiny's, honestly. I mean, obviously, Chloe, great performance. I don't know whether I actually caught her in a shot in this, actually. I might have to see. But, yeah, the cheerleaders in general were just brilliant. I believe this is the playroom part. It's kind of like the new bit, which they've... the boiler section used to be here, where it used to be where you'd have, like, all the boiler body bags. They've now been moved to the showers section, so... yeah, now they've done playroom, which I do kind of prefer a little bit more. It kind of has a bit more of a winding path, and it's kind of like the cheerleaders' main area, and yeah, it's a really cool area. You've got like the ice cream music playing, like kind of like the ice cream van music playing in the background, which is really creepy. So yeah, like hopefully that stays. Yeah, I think it might be in this bit, actually. Hold on. Oh, no, that's not Chloe. Never mind. Still another great scare actor playing one of the cheerleaders. I'm trying to think what section this is, actually. It might be... oh, this is the tannery, I believe, where you've got, like, the... You've got, like, the kind of, like, the bed thing. I don't think it's meant to actually be a bed, but, like, in the original, you had, like, one of the victims kind of, like, tied up to it. And they got, like the seamstress mannequin with the skin on it. Yeah, that room's called the tannery. Because I know these things, because I speak to the actors way too much. But yeah, so there's one of the cheerleaders doing a great job scouting there. This is one of the NPCs. It would be nice if they could give them a bit more variety this year. That would be nice. Makes it a bit samey. This is from Burial Grounds, one of the pig... again, one of the actual good pig masks, to be fair. Yeah, and this cage I saw in the Wickerman queue line has actually been set up. So, yeah, so that's confirming that it's coming back. Again, I'm not going to concede defeat on Attic until I see it in writing. I am being stubborn. Then Wickerman, which hopefully will be open soon. And then, oh, that looks nice actually. Hold on. Oh, that's a lovely shot of Nemesis Reborn. Although it weirdly looks, I don't know whether this has actually been taken in the dark or not, because this kind of looks a bit too doctored in a way. Like it looks like filtered. I don't know.
Days and nights of spooks
And then, yeah,
frights
Smiler.
at Alton Tower.
And then, yeah, 11th of October to the 3rd of November. So that's something, that is a mistake I made in my speculation video. I think normally Scarefest would be the second weekend of October. I think it's because last year it was like from the 7th to the 9th, but now it's like the 11th to the 13th. I think it's just how the weekends have moved this year. But the good thing is that it's a full run that they're doing, so they're not like taking a week off after opening weekend. Like they're going from the 11th to the 3rd. So yeah, I mean, good on them. I just hope they've got enough actors and stuff, and they can actually, you know, manage that and, you know, make sure the actors are all okay and stuff. Yeah, hopefully they can do that. So yeah, that's pretty much the sort of confirmation. We have a confirmation that there's 2 attractions that are coming in, 2 new attractions, which is still great, like, even if it's not 3. I'm just hoping to God it isn't the Attic, though. I'm hoping to God when you next see me, I'm not having to eat my own hat, because, yeah, the Attic returning. I hope not. It would be nice if it didn't. As I say, I'd rather have one less thing on the lineup than have something that's stale, that's taking away actors that could be in other mazes and filling them out. I mean, especially when I know that the mazes sometimes have issues with, like, if, like, a illness goes around, like a cold, that can, like, knock out a lot of the actors and stuff. Like, I've had runs where it's, like, they've had less actors because of, you know, colds and flus going around. And I think just with the issues that they're having with the heritage, I'm assuming, with the Attic, like, I just get rid of it, kill it. just do it like an Of Mice and Men and take it to the woods and put it out of its misery, for God's sake. Like, it needs to go. Or be really, like, I'm hoping it'll be really refreshed if, like, maybe do what they did with Altonville and actually give it a new thing. But then again, it would just be a new Terror of the Towers at that point. Like, you know, I don't really see why it'd still be the Attic. But unless they do, like, a massive reroute, just... yeah, there's no point in having it back, really. So yeah, so that's pretty much all that's been confirmed for this so far. What I'll probably do is record another bit. Also, it would help as well because I've actually got 2 videos that I need to edit, which I'm like really behind on. So I'd like to not have a backlog. Well, I already do have a backlog, but I'd hope not to have a bigger backlog. That would be nice. So what I'll probably do this will be the first part of the video. The next bit that you'll see of me is when there's been like a new trailer announcement, or of like one of the new mazes, or maybe the tickets have been released, which will confirm what the lineup's going to be. So yeah, I guess I will see you as future James.
Several days later.
Right, so 4 days later now, hopefully looking a little bit less like shit. So today, I actually had a bit of a tip-off for this, so I was a little bit ahead of this. Still don't know exactly when it was going to come out today, but I did get a little bit of a tip off a certain source, so thank you. And I was actually working on the edit for the Man of Madness video while the announcement came out. I had Chloe, thank you very much for letting me know on Instagram not to look on Instagram, because yeah, the trailer's been released. Unfortunately not on YouTube. You were doing so well, Towers, come on. You put the first one on YouTube, you could have put this one on YouTube as well. But no, it's been put onto socials and stuff. I've got it up on Twitter at the moment. It is apparently a lineup reveal. Fortunately, I haven't really had like any thumbnail spoiling it this time, so we'll see if I'm eating my hat today. I bloody well hope not. But yeah, it's got the kind of same kind of doorway style, which again, I love that they're doing this for the events where they've got these kind of doorways that you go into. Really cool. Just shows kind of the extra effort that they're putting in for these. So yeah, without further ado, let's go. Also, I believe the tickets have been released at this point for the Scare Maze as well, so I can have a look at the prices and stuff on the website and things like that. And apparently there's some interesting things possibly in the comments, so I'll look through them afterwards as well. But yeah, for now, let's look at this, and also going frame by frame on this will be very bloody difficult. Okay, Scarefest is back, we know, along with your favourite attractions. Let's see if they are actually my favourite. Yep, so Attic's back, and I think they actually used this very shot for when they did it in, I think it might have been 2019, no, not 2019, 2021 or 2022. I think they used this very same shot. And very same, well, not this footage, but I believe kind of like this whole thing of bringing it in with the smoke and stuff, I believe was using another teaser. Yep, so it's back, which, yeah, again, like I said in the previous bit earlier on, is that I just think it's a waste of resources. I'd rather have one less thing on the lineup than have all the resources go towards this. I just think it's a bit of a waste. Is it a good maze? Yes. Like, I just want to clarify that. I do like the maze. It is just that the maze has become stale. So it's just like, I would rather have something new or nothing at all, really, and have the other mazes be better. That's all I'm saying. But it'll be nice to go back. Maybe they'll make some changes. Who knows? I'll have a look. Probably there'll be some descriptions on the website. Maybe there'll be some changes. I don't know. Anyway, let's keep going. I just realised as well the spacebar doesn't do anything on here. Why couldn't you put it onto YouTube? Anyway, Attic. Some nice shots of it, to be fair. There we go. Tinies. Oh. And then Burial Grounds. Yep, so we're seeing construction of that. I think I'll pause after the fact. Spooks by Day. Okay, so Trick or Treat Town. Fair enough. Plus 2 brand new attractions. Okay. Coming very soon. Please not too soon, because I need to work on other stuff. Right, so let's go through this a little bit more. I can't really do frame by frame, unfortunately, but I'll try and go as frame by frame as I can. So yeah, as I say, I feel like that shot was used in one of the other trailers, but anyway, this stuff looks like new stuff though. The Governess, I think that's the Clockwork toy, I think. This might be at the point in hell, I'm not sure, but with the kind of like the Master of the House character, Ragdoll. No sign of the Porcelain Doll, hopefully that comes back. And then, yeah, we got Tiny's Revenge, obviously with Tiny. I believe this is in the pre-show section where, like, you come in through kind of, it's a bit hard to show, but like, you come in through this way and then go up this way to the elevator bits. Yeah, that's Tiny. Coming through, there was also, there we go, we got, this is in Playroom with one of the cheerleaders. There's Tiny. Yep, so you got him in his gas mask. No helmet on this one, which is interesting, but yeah. Maybe, to be fair, I think they filmed these bits new, possibly, so it might be that, or maybe they were from last year, I can't remember, but yeah, so maybe it was just during rehearsals or something, I don't know. And then another cheerleader here. I do know the names of some of these, but I kind of feel like it's weird for me to say the names of the ones that I don't really fully know. And then, oh, there's another shot of Tiny. There we go. In the tannery, because there's the kind of seamstress mannequin thing. And, yeah, lovely close-up shot of him. And there's Chloe. There she is in the skin jar room. You can actually notice on this as well. I'll have some focus on Chloe in a second. But here you can see there's kind of like the new props that they added to this section, where it's like kind of like skinned hair and stuff. But yeah, you got Chloe as her character Cindy in the maze. So yes, and yeah, she told me before this that she was in the trailer. So yeah, that's awesome that they got some shot of her in it. And then Burial Grounds. Yeah, as I say, we saw construction of this. Kind of expected. Also, it's a free scare zone, so you know that's helpful to have, you know, for people who don't want to do mazes and stuff and don't want to pay the extra upcharge. I just realised as well there is something missing from this, but we'll see about that, and that might be what's mentioned in the comments as well. But yeah, then we got this character. Was this in the last trailer as well? This character, yeah, with the better mask. Yeah, you notice they're showing some of the better masks rather than the cheap Wish ones. To be fair, they just don't make sense. They look like Batman. It's weird. Like, I get they're meant to be like a new version of the Bjorn, but like, I prefer this kind of style where it looks more real. And this as well, you know, that's not a bad mask, to be fair. And also there was just another shot there. Hold on. Can I pause? There we go. And then this is one of the props. I don't think this is on the smoke corridor. I think this is like there's like a few flats that they have up where there's like on the right, if you look towards Haunted Hollow, there's like a load of like pyro effects and stuff, and you have these kind of theming pieces here with the cow and the pigs and all that stuff. And then Spooks by Day, which is interesting that they have Trick or Treat Town back, which, yeah, I guess it makes sense. Again, I might get like one ticket for it. I'm not sure. Maybe like on the day this time, because last time I got a ticket for I think it might have been for Halloween or something, but then the Joneses had a spare ticket on opening day, and so I was like, okay, I'll go along with you. Yeah, very nice of them to allow me to join them for that. So I might just get one on the day, maybe on like Halloween or something like that. I'm sure we'll have some, just to see if there's any changes or anything. But I think I'll have a look at the prices in a sec, but I don't think it's going to be worth the price for the amount you get. I think £5 for Trick or Treat Town, that's a max for the amount of sweets you get and stuff. And considering as well that a few years back I saw a group that went in and they didn't have a ticket, but they just asked if they could go through without a bag, which means you're not paying for the walkthrough experience, you're paying for the bag, you're paying for the sweets. So like £9 to £12 for a bag of sweets, and not even that big of a bag of sweets. I don't really think that's worth it, to be honest. Like, a glorified sweet collecting, you're not really paying for the walkthrough experience in that case. So yeah, I don't know, but it's a nice attraction. I just think it is very overpriced, but we'll see this year if the prices have changed for it. Hopefully they have. So then you've got this with, interestingly, that mask looks like one of the ones from Rubber Gorilla, so that Thorpe Park have used in Death's Doors. It kind of looks like a cut-up version of one of them. Probably not, to be honest, but it just looks familiar. It's like the pumpkin character that they had there. And then you got the skeleton character. This is kind of an interesting thing here as well. So this, I think it might be this door, it might be one of the other ones, that looks like Sully from Monsters Inc. And you actually see in the kind of exits, not corridor, but like the exit alley bit which you go out of, that you see kind of, I think it's like a reference to Monsters Inc. or something, or like you see some like Sully's fur or something out of like one of the bins, and I think it's to do with the old idea that Monsters Inc. has all the doors and stuff, so one of the doors is a reference to Sully. And yeah, it's kind of dark, like thinking, how did they get Sully's fur? little bit dark implications there, isn't it? And then you got the witch character as well, which I believe last year and for the last few years has been played by an actor who I recognise as well. I think the one who plays Gretel at Oktoberfest, so she's great. You got kind of like the Gravedigger character. I think this was in the last one I reacted to as well. And then this is in, oh no, this is in the other doors as well. I was thinking this might have been the bit where that kind of Undertaker character was, where or Gravedigger character was, where they have like someone in like a couple of doors that like swing open at the top, and they normally have like a spray gun that they spray at you for like a trick or treat kind of thing. Yeah, which I remember in the past they sometimes said that they didn't want to get it on my makeup or anything because they really like the costume, which is awesome. And then plus, it is interesting with this. So 2 brand new attractions. Now there is one thing very clearly missing from this trailer, which is Panic, which to my knowledge I thought was on a contract, which meant I thought they needed to have it still there. Now the thing is, we know that there's the construction behind Curse Alton Manor, and we know that there's the one at the dungeon, so we know that's 2 attractions. But on this bit, you have, I mean, I'll just go back a bit further. You have the clock ticking thing, which was used in the Daz Games Panic trailers. Is that kind of a link to Panic or something? Or are they moving Panic possibly to maybe the one behind Curse Alton Manor? That would make sense, to be fair, to move it to like into a bigger kind of storage container. And they have relocated mazes in the past. Like, I mean, with Darkest Depths, for God's sake, its first year it was in the Mutiny Bay Courtyard. Second year it was where now there's meant to be another construction going, kind of like near Dark Forest. The only thing is, will we count that as a new attraction, or maybe is it going to be like Daz Games Panic the Return or something like that? Like, are they going to rename it to suggest it's new? I hope not. I hope they're two brand new attractions, but it is interesting that on this section they use the Daz Games Panic clock ticking. Like, that is very reminiscent, unless they're just using the clock ticking because like the time's running out or something. But yeah, coming very soon. I hope very soon doesn't mean like tomorrow. I mean, to be fair, for the next few days, hopefully I won't have too many things on. Something, I guess that would be the best time. But at the same time, give me a bit of a break. Come on, I mean, maybe Friday. I don't know. But yeah, very interesting that they say coming very soon. It would be good maybe if it was like next week or something. Like maybe do it this time next week. I don't know. Although then again, the last teaser came out on last Friday, so a week from then would be this Friday. So maybe that makes sense. Please don't do it on Saturday because I'll be out for the day at the Towers Times Summer Festival. So please don't do it then. But yeah, it's interesting that we got this lineup. So yep, 11th of October, 3rd of November. I have done some pre-books, but we'll see if I'll pre-book anything now. I might wait till my next payment comes in before booking mazes and stuff. But yeah, now I'll just look at some of the comments, because Chloe did say to look in some comments, so I'll just take a look through, and also, you know, can shout out a few people as well. And here we go. No, where's Panic? And it says watch this space. So I don't know whether that's just saying, teasing that there's something new coming, there's more announcements coming. But I don't see why Panic would be one of the new attractions. That's the weird thing. I'm hoping it is, or I'm hoping that if it is, I'm hoping it's something very new and very different. Maybe using the same kind of layout and stuff, but having a different theme to it instead of Daz Games, possibly. Let's see, is there a response to this? Panic without the mention of Daz Games. That's what I was thinking. JKTM 27. Cool username. To be fair, my username's not much better. That's kind of what I'm thinking, is that could it be Panic without the mention of Daz Games, maybe with better theming? I'd be up for that, to be fair, as long as it has a good storyline, really good theming. I feel like they could put that into the one behind Curse of Alton Manor as well. That could work. Although then again, there was theories, so this is funny. So there was theories about the one behind Curse of Alton Manor possibly being Phalanx themed, and one of the original ideas for Panic was for it to be a Phalanx training facility. What if that's the idea? I would actually be really into that if they could make a really good storyline around that and have it be a training facility where you have to scan the symbols, but you've got these like kind of alien predator kind of characters, or like, you know, similar to kind of like the Nemesis creature, you know, kind of an alien predator, but, you know, like maybe more humanoid characters in a way, like they've been infected, maybe like Project 42 or something. That would be interesting. So yeah, I could actually really get into that. They just have to make it something very different for it to be classed as something new. Then we have Sam Spires. I've interacted with him quite a bit on Twitter. Nice to have you on the channel in a way, I guess. Has the invitation met its end? Hope so anyway. I think so. I believe it's got to the end of its contract, and as I think I said in one of the I think it was like in the speculation video, if it hasn't got to the end of its contract, I think they need to find a way to wiggle its way out of its contract, because yeah, I think they needed to get rid of that. I think because this is all the returning stuff, I don't think that it'll be returning, hopefully. Booking on the website shows there'll be 3 new attractions, probably a typo, I don't know. By logic of these combi tickets, either Burial Grounds is becoming paid, which would be a insanely bad decision, I agree, or we are actually getting 3 new attractions. Could there be a secret third one? Interesting. Or could it be that with the one at Darkest Depths, they were originally planning it to have it there and they've accidentally said 3 on the website? I don't know. So I'll just double check on the comments on Instagram just to see if there's anything. I think the main thing that they would have been asking was about Panic, but I'll just go and double check. So here we go. So we've got this same comment here. Is Daz Games Panic gone then? Watch this space. I think, here's my theory, is that the construction behind Curse of Alton Manor, maybe Phalanx theme. I mean, you could say Curse theme, but I think this Phalanx idea, because Panic was originally either going to be Ministry of Joy or Phalanx, I think they're changing Panic into the original Phalanx idea. Not probably because the IP maybe lost the rights to Daz Games, I don't know, maybe it only lasted a year, or because of the thing of people saying like it wasn't very well themed, there wasn't really much of a good storyline. They're now going to add that original storyline in. Personally, I think Ministry of Joy would have been nice. You know, we've all been kind of asking for like a Sanctuary Ministry of Joy theme maze to come back. and they have a lot of theming from things like Festival Thrills, like a roster of characters. You've got like Dr. Kelman, you've got like the different nurses and stuff from the Sanctuary, you've got the Smiling Advocates and stuff, you've got Professor Gladwell from Festival Thrills from the Fear Test, you've got Grin, the clown from the Fear Test. You know, there's some really good characters. But with Phalanx, I think there is a lot you could do with it as well. It would make sense as well with the whole new big revamp of Forbidden Valley. I am very much wondering, though, where the entrance is going to be for this maze, because if it's going to be a Forbidden Valley maze, it would make sense for the entrance to be near Forbidden Valley. And the only entrance that I could really think of, I met up with a couple of people, I think it was, I might have mentioned before, Emily Access All Areas. I met up with her and Redbeard as well. You might know him from like Twitter and stuff. Really, really great people. And we were kind of discussing where we think the entrance to this new maze behind Curse could be. And the only way that we could think was like going up like behind the toilet block. But I mean, for one thing, it's kind of an incline, which means that's not really great for like, you know, people who aren't as able-bodied. You know, you have to use wrap and stuff, so you know it's not really good to have it on that incline. But also, it's just not a very big space for a queue line. So I am wondering if this is going to be. I mean, then again, if it was Curse, I wouldn't really know where the queue line would go either. But if it's going to be a Forbidden Valley themed maze, a Phalanx themed maze, you'd want the entrance near Forbidden Valley. I'm really wondering where they're going to put it, because also you've got the monorail in the way as well. Yeah, very, very difficult to work that out. So now I'm going to go to the Alton Towers website and have a look at all the tickets and the mazes and stuff. Right, so as you can see here, we're on the website now, and days of nights of spooks and frights, blah, blah, blah. So we've got, obviously, Tiny's Revenge returning. Rumours are afoot that the old Altonville mines are alive with activity once again. Indeed they are. Following a breakthrough from local law enforcers, the notorious skin snatchers have been detained. Damn, because I really like that storyline with the Knox family. But for how long? The ironically named Tiny, however, has evaded capture and is believed to still reside within the mines. Explore this live-action scare maze at your peril and risk the adventure if you dare. So yeah, pretty much the same description from last year. I think they're probably all the same descriptions. Let's have a look. Yeah, I believe these are all the same. Yep, they seem to be the same descriptions. And really bad Wish pig mask. There we go. So it seems to be the same descriptions. Interesting that it says Burial Grounds is a book now. I did see someone, because there was someone who commented this on Twitter. Is it going to be an upcharge? I think that would be a bad idea. This just takes you to the tickets and stuff. So you've got obviously 1 day pass, short break. But there's two different things here. So there's a Frights combi and a Spook and Frights combi. So let's see. So let's just have a look at this. So, and it says there's only a pass holder discount available for this, which I do wonder about. Can I see a description, please? Right. So 4 Fright scare mazes. So that's early and late. That's annoying, because I kind of don't like it when they do like early and late ones. You know, I'd rather just have the combi whenever. It does look like with the pass holder combi though, there isn't a specific late or early, which means maybe with pass holders you can do it whenever. I am interested in this though. Spooks and Frights combi. I'm assuming with the pictures, does that mean that Trick or Treat Town's added on to it? I guess. I mean, yeah. I mean, it seems like a lot more for just that. So let's have a look. Here we go. So, Spooks and Frights combi gives you access to the attic, Altonville Mine Tours, the 2 new scare attractions, so they obviously haven't shown that yet. Trick or Treat Town, and then another one. Yeah, that's interesting that that's still on there. So that's either they haven't removed that yet while they were thinking the other attraction at Darkest Depths is still going to be there, or it's Burial Grounds, but I really don't see why Burial Grounds would be an upcharge now, and also why they'd be keeping that secret as well. I don't know. They're only saying 2, unless there is just a surprise extra one that they're going to add. I don't know, bring back the Sanctuary or something. I'll just see what's on the other one, though. Yeah, and then this one's just without Trick or Treat Town, but it also has only 2 scare attraction, like 2 additional ones. I'll just have a look on the other combis as well. And on the early combi, it's got the same thing. Late combi got the same thing. I think it is just a typo on that. I don't think it's actually, I don't think there is another attraction added on. In regards to the prices, they seem pretty much the same as normal. It is a bit of a shame that the late one's a little bit more expensive, but it looks like with the pass holder one, which is good that I'm a pass holder, is that, oh, hold on, pass holder discount is only valid on time slots between 3 and 4:45, or 1 and 2:45. Oh, that's a shame that you can only do the pass holder on the day ones. That's a bit annoying, isn't it? That's a bit of a shame that you have to pay more to do them late at night. Yeah, that's annoying. Meanwhile, with this one, it doesn't actually give you a time slot when you have to do it, which is interesting. So, yeah, that's a bit of a shame that you'd have to pay more to have, I mean, Trick or Treat Town added on, but then also get mazes whenever you want during the day. Yeah, because it doesn't even look like there's a 2-hour time limit on this as well. It's just that you can do it whenever. I think it's a bit weird how they're having to do that this year, like having early or a late and stuff. Yeah, that's a bit, don't really know how I feel about that, to be honest. I'd have to be essentially paying more to do something that I wouldn't really want to add on anyway, and then but then I can do the mazes whenever I want. So yeah, that's a bit of a shame. And the fact that you can't get like a discount on the lates as well. So I mean, to be honest, probably the best option would be, if you want to have free reign and have a discount, is to do the Spooks and Frights combi pass holder, I guess. Which is going to make it a little bit more difficult for me when I'm booking stuff, so that's fun. I'll just double check as well if it's maybe different price on different dates. No, it seems to be pretty much the same price on any date. But yeah, it just it seems a bit weird that they're doing it at like so many different prices. I feel like this is kind of going off what Thorpe did last year, and I think doing this year as well, where it's like you have earlies and lates and stuff. Like, why can't you just do them whenever during the event? Like, yeah, that's a bit of a shame, I think. And again, especially that you can't do a late with a pass holder discount. Yeah, that's kind of, I think it's because they're wanting to incentivize people to go earlier, but it's like, that's a bit annoying. So I might go for the Spooks and Frights combi. It just means that I'd have extra trick-or-treat towns that I don't really want to do, but yeah, unless if they come out with different kind of ticketing options, then yeah, I don't really know. Yeah, that's kind of put me on a bit of a downer now, to be honest about it. It is weird that they're putting like the book now on the kind of Spooktacular Entertainment as well, unless if it's just like talking about booking the tickets for the event now. But yeah, it's Alton Ancestors again, as expected. Simbin Immortal Hell, I wish we could have got a different show, that would have been nice. Does it say about the kids shows as well? I think that might be on the other page. Yeah, so Trick or Treat Town, sponsored by Haribo. And then, yeah, CBeebies Land Monster Ball. Never watched that one, which is interesting. Alton Ancestors. They have one of the Freaky Five here, but I don't know whether... I mean, it says here, race, join the fun, whole world, join the Freaky Five, yeah. So I'm assuming it's going to be the same Freaky Five show that they've had in previous years. And then Curse of Alton Manor. I think they're just advertising because it's spooky. Nice shot here, by the way. I don't think I've seen this one before. That's cool. It's interesting what this Spooks duo is. Let's have a look. Gives you Trick or Treat Town and another scare attraction, which is interesting because, like, so is the other scare attraction going to be a family one then? Possibly. I think possibly, like, with it being near Trick or Treat Town at the dungeons, that might be possibly a family attraction. So I'm kind of replacing Darkest Depths in the lineup. So maybe that's the reason why that's kind of in a combi there. So with the lineup overall, I think, to be honest, pretty good. As I say, with the attic, I wish that wasn't coming back, but and also I feel like another reason why they're bringing it back is because they want to kind of add more value to that ticket price. But yeah, considering it's a maze that I really feel shouldn't still be there, like it's a bit of a shame that they're bringing that back, and I had to eat my hat over it as well. I hang my head in shame. But I think the main kind of worry that I have is about the combis and stuff as well, that if I wanted kind of free reign over the combis I do on a discount, essentially I would have to book something where you have a Trick or Treat Town added on, which I wouldn't necessarily want, and I would have to essentially pay 80 quid to do a couple of runs per day, unless if I did one-shots and stuff. But it's like, yeah, or I mean, I'll just actually work out as well, would it actually be cheaper to do it as a morning and an evening one separately? Right, so if I was to do, let's say, 2 of the Spooks and Fright combis on pass holder, then that'd be 80 quid, because, you know, 40 quid times by 2, I can do maths, but I can't do enough maths to work out the other ones. I have to do it on a calculator, which would be if I did a Fright's combi is a pass holder, because as you see, you can only do it during like the day, which I'm assuming that's the day for the other ones as well. Yeah, that's the same times for the day one. So essentially it's an early one, but you can only do early on pass holder. So if you were to add the Fright's combi as a pass holder and a late combi just on a normal, that would be £65.20. So that would technically be the best way to do it if you want to save the most money. It is a shame that you have to do it as those two separate ones, but I mean, you'd have to do it as two separate ones anyway, wouldn't you? What am I saying? But it's a shame that you have to, like, you can't have like a discount on both of them, and the fact that if you want to have it as a discount on both on any time, you'd also have to do it with Trick or Treat Town. So I think that's probably the way I'll do it. I think I might maybe kind of get in touch with like the chat bot to see whether the late one does have a pass holder discount, and maybe update maybe when the full kind of new mazes are revealed. It is interesting that on these there is panic. There is like a panic image for it. I don't know whether that's just like a placeholder image or something, but it is interesting that that's still there and they're kind of advertising with that, so I guess we'll just have to see with that. So for now, until the new mazes are announced, yeah, I guess it'll be back to me in a sec. I guess my predictions would be that in the dungeons there's going to be some form of family attraction that I'm thinking possibly with a dungeon storyline, so it will be like the Alton Towers dungeon, but as a scare attraction, actually taking those storylines but making it more like a scare maze, because the dungeon is already a bit more of a family attraction, so I can see why they put that with Trick or Treat Town. In regards to the, I'm assuming the one behind Curse of Alton Manor, I think it's going to be the original idea they had for Daz Games Panic, which was a phalanx themed maze, but with the kind of scanning things, like a kind of phalanx training tutorial training ground, and I actually really like the idea of that. So yeah, it would have been nice if it was kind of two completely fresh attractions, but I think for this lineup I still think it is a step in the right direction. I think it is, you know, it is still refreshing stuff, which is good. It got rid of Invitation, great. I would have liked if they got rid of Attic, but there is also that kind of typo. I think it's a typo with the third attraction. I don't think there actually is, but yeah, I think my main kind of issue is with the ticketing thing. I'll see if I can clarify that for when I record next, but yeah, I guess on to future me again.
2 weeks later.
Right, so I think it's been a couple of weeks later now, honestly lost track of time. I know there was a Panic announcement that came out, so I'll be reacting to that. Unfortunately, I've been kind of spoiled by the new announcement that's come out today. It does kind of confirm that it is going to be every Tuesday, so I'm assuming the final announcement will be next Tuesday at the start of September, and it seems like around 4 o'clock, so I think next week I'll try and like be ready, but it's because the YouTube notification comes up, so you know, I see kind of the thumbnail and the title, so that's really all I've seen. So the first thing that I'll be reacting to is the Daz Games Panic Reloaded trailer. I have watched this. There's nothing really too much new in it, which is good. It's all kind of footage from last year, so yeah, there's not really too much of a surprise. It's just more the fact that they're kind of doing it in a new iteration, it seems like. But anyway, so we'll watch the trailer for it and try and react to what I can. Yeah, so this is all from the other trailer, then there's some stuff inside. Which, to be fair, it's cool to see some like new footage inside it, so that's good.
Okay, this is going way too far.
I think that might be a newly recorded bit as well, because I don't remember that from last year. Unless if it's like an outtake or something, I don't know. But yeah, so that's the Panic one. I'll just read the description and go back through it. So this Halloween's, not multiple, I wish there was. This Halloween, Daz Games Panic Reloaded returns to Scarefest at Alton Towers Resort with a brand new game. This adrenaline-packed escape room meets live-action scare maze, dares you to survive the ultimate horror experience. I wouldn't call it that, but oh well. But that's not all. Stay tuned for details of our 2 new attractions coming soon. So obviously one of those announcements coming out today. I think the other one will be coming out next Tuesday. I'll just double check what date that is. That'll be the 3rd of September. So yeah, start of September. I think that'll be when the final announcement comes out. Unless they just shadow drop it tonight, who knows. But yeah, it's saying that it's a brand new game. I think it's still going to be the same kind of symbol thing, like, you know, unless that's just footage from last year, but I think it's still going to use the symbols and stuff. I think it's going to be that there's just going to be more theming in there and a little bit more of like a sequel storyline in a way to try and make it a little bit more interesting. But I think the main thing's honestly going to going to be more theming and stuff, actually make it a themed maze, because I think that's kind of the biggest complaint that it had, really, that it wasn't themed enough. So, you know, maybe some like new characters, you know, you had like the NPCs and stuff, which were the ones where like kind of like vampire characters who could like change their faces and stuff into like clowns or dolls, and then you had the unrendered who were like the kind of white boiler suit ones with the masks. So maybe we could get a third character with them, who knows, that would be really cool. But anyway, we'll just go through the trailer again, kind of frame by frame. Again, it's good that they're putting it onto YouTube now, to be fair, so that's good. So yeah, so you got the reloading thing. Obviously it's called Daz Games Panic Reloaded, so yeah, makes sense. And then yeah, this is the stuff which was, I believe, filmed in the Subterra building. I can't remember which bit exactly. This might be the bit where like the elevators are, I'm not sure. And then there's one of the symbols, the X symbol. Daz is back, yay! Oh, Dazzlers. With a brand new game. As I say, I don't think it's going to be brand new. Like, I think it's still going to be finding the symbols. Maybe they might like tweak it in some way, but I think it's still going to be the general same game. I think it's just going to be more theming. Honestly, I think that's the main thing that they're going to be doing, because that was the main complaint people had. More theming, maybe a tweet storyline. And then there we go. So here's one of the symbol things, with a load of like UV paint and stuff around it. To be fair, the symbols look really cool. Like the actual technology that they used, I believe, Conductor, who's kind of headed up by Pete Cliff, who I believe was the guy who used to run Scarefest. Now there's Kieran Kimberly, who runs it, like runs head of events and stuff. So yeah, so it's interesting that they kind of got them back in to help out with this. And there's the heart symbol. Most of the time the symbols didn't work. There were times where it wasn't that the symbols didn't work, it's that the symbols that I got on my screen didn't work in the maze. Then I have to try and like trial and error to try and find out which one works. And then obviously you had the puzzles as well. Then here's the doll mask. So I think it is like a half face mask that they did for like a doll and a clown. I think I only ever saw the doll once. I think from some people I've talked to, like they didn't remember it from last year. I think I did see it once, but it's very hard to tell sometimes as well with how fast everything is in there. But yeah, there's the doll mask. I think this is all stuff from last year as well. This is all footage from last year, because I don't believe when this came out that any construction's been done at Daz Games Panic. I still don't think anything's been done yet for it. But then again, if there's not much to it, there's not really much to set up, but I'm hoping that there might be some more theming this year, so that'd be nice. Then some more people running around. You see one of the mannequins there. Again, this was literally all the theming. Mannequins, fencing, and the symbols, and like any puzzles that came with the symbols, but that was about it, really basic. Then yeah, here's one of the clown ones. So again, it's just more like kind of like a half, well, that's more like a third face mask in a way. It's not even half, because you can see the lower jaw there. But yeah, these are the NPC characters that they had. Then this is the teaser that was filmed in Subterra again, so you can see this kind of the exit corridor where you got the cage and stuff where the scare actors can usually be. I believe this actor was in like the Simbin show last year, possibly. I think I recognise her. Then these are the unrendered. They were quite creepy, to be fair. I think the problem is that they got kind of like short actors to play them, so they kind of were a little bit less menacing. It's more the eyes, in a way. It's like I say with analog horror, kind of like the dilated pupils and the kind of like distorted features and stuff. It makes it quite creepy. But yeah, cool idea though. And then yeah, again, minimal theming with a NPC in the background skulking, and then also the square symbol there, and then another NPC scaring the daylights out of someone, then a couple more people here just running through, another unread. That's actually quite a creepy shot, to be fair, with them just there. You know what they could add, because this is actually making me think, like, what if they added like mirrored sections? Like, imagine that, having like mirrored sections. That would be an easy, simple bit of theming, and it would actually make it quite startling in a way. Maybe have like the kind of the double way, well, I don't really know if they're called double way mirrors, but like where it's like it's a mirror at first, but then you have a certain light on it, and then it like you can see something behind the mirror. That'd be cool. Like, that'd be a really cool thing. I just think some more theming to give more immersion, to give it more of a storyline. That's really what it needs. It really does. Then again, more NPCs in the little hoods. Someone going through with the, I don't know, I'm assuming that's a staff ID. And then yeah, Mannequin again, and then Scream.
Okay, this is going way too far.
Yeah, I don't remember that bit. I mean, this obviously wasn't part of the pre-show. The pre-show actually takes place in Daz Games' room, like where he normally does his videos, I think. So unless this was like a bit of B-roll from the last trailer they did, or maybe they've recorded a new trailer. Who knows? I mean, it makes sense if it's going to be a new storyline. And then Daz Games Panic Reloaded. I think it's an alright name. I think it's going to have to change quite a bit for it to merit the Reloaded thing. I think you could just call it Daz Games Panic if you just up the theming a bit. I think it needs to do a lot more to kind of warrant being a sequel in a way that kind of like what Tiny's Revenge did, where it's like it's a whole new storyline, like whole new characters in a way. Like, yes, you still have a skin snatcher in there, but he's a completely different type of skin snatcher, a lot more victims and stuff, new rooms, like changed up rooms and stuff, just a lot more of a darker vibe. I feel like Daz Games Panic Reloaded is going to need to do a lot more than just more theming. You know, it's going to need to do a lot more to warrant it being a sequel in a way. But yeah, but I think it's a cool name though. And then glitchy Scarefest logo. So overall, I'm happy to see it back. I do think it was a little bit samey last year, but if they could add some new stuff, more theming, stuff like that, that would be great. You know, that could, you know, make it a little bit more refreshed, which would be good. You know, a little bit more new, which would be great. You know, makes it feel a little bit more fresh each time you go around. Unlike the attic at this point. I'm just hoping they could do a good job with that. You know, get a good amount of actors in there. Maybe some new puzzles and stuff to unlock some of the symbols. I'm happy to see it back. You know, just another thing on the lineup, still quite fresh. You know, it only got put in last year, and I think it's still a pretty good thing. But yeah, they just need to add more theming, add maybe a little bit more of a complex storyline to just make it feel a little bit more fresh. So the next thing we got, as I say, I've seen the thumbnail for this, which didn't really spoil too much. It's just got this kid on it, and I did see the title, Amigos in the Afterlife. Now with this one, I did hear a few little things. As I say, I haven't really been having much like spoilers this year because, you know, I kind of wanted to stay a little bit more spoiler free, but what I heard about this one is it's kind of a little bit more out there in a way. I think like with Amigos in the Afterlife, it's kind of a theme which Towers haven't really done before, which is quite interesting, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with this. There's another bit which I might talk about after this. I'll just see what the trailer's like, but as you can see, looks like it's going to be quite family friendly. I think this is going to be that one on the tickets that was combied with Trick or Treat Town, which is going to be in the dungeons, I imagine. So, and it makes sense to show this one first, because I think with the last one, it's going to be the big new proper scare attraction. I'm hoping this one could still be like on the level of Darkest Depths, where it has some scares. Like, it's not a Trick or Treat Town where it is just for kids. Like, I'm hoping it could be that more family scare attraction, like still be a scare attraction, but have that kind of more lighter theming. I think with Amigos you could do that, so we'll see with Amigos in the Afterlife. Oh, yeah, this is definitely more kid-friendly. Let's see. Effects are a bit shoddy there, but I mean, it's Towers.
Discover a brand new world of colour and adventure this Halloween. Journey through magical places and meet some exciting new friends.
I don't think this is going to be a scare attraction, but let's keep going.
But be ready, you may encounter some less than friendly spirits along the way. Get ready to journey to the beyond this Scarefest.
Oh god. Right, okay. Where'd be the best point? Here we go. This is the best point to pause on for my thoughts on this. So when I was kind of briefly told about this, I wasn't told the name of it, I wasn't told the exact theming. I kind of had a hint of it to do with like it being quite colourful, quite vibrant and stuff. But I was also told that in a way, if they could pull it off right, it could almost be quite emotional in a way, like a kind of emotional thing. And I think that comes from the whole thing with the Afterlife, possibly. I do not think that's the direction they're going in with this. I think this is very much going to be a family attraction like Trick or Treat Town in a way. It's going to have more interactions and things rather than it being a scare attraction. It doesn't seem like it. I mean, they say some less than friendly spirits and then they show this. I mean, he makes me uncomfortable, but not exactly terrified. It doesn't seem like it's on the level of Darkest Depths. I think this is going to be much more like a Trick or Treat Town, which I think is a shame because you already have Trick or Treat Town on the lineup. It would have been nice to get another Darkest Depths style attraction in a way. But I mean, let's just go through the trailer and actually see. But yeah, little bit disappointed. I would have liked it to be something a bit more scary, but I mean, hey, the plus side is that means I could possibly just go with the adult lineup just on its own rather than going with the kids one. I guess maybe. Let's see. But I think that does actually make sense for why they've split like an adult one and a kids one, because yeah, if this isn't a scare attraction, if you're an adult, you're going to want to do the scare attractions multiple times. But yeah, so you got this bit which is in the gardens with a kind of alright CGI door. Again, it's Alton Towers, I don't expect it to be that high budget. Oh god, wait, is that actually CG that they've done on that? Or is that... I'm not sure. He kind of looks a little bit CG. Yeah, oh yeah, with those bendy arms, that's definitely CG. Okay. I mean, I think the theming's interesting. Like, I think they've never really done like Amigo stuff before. I mean, what's that like? It's kind of like because it looks like some of the costumes are kind of going like with the Voodoo crew from Mardi Gras, which I think makes sense considering it looks like they're reusing some of the costumes as well. It's an interesting theme. I just wish they could actually go with it as a scare attraction, because I think you can still do that for kids and have it be scary.
Brand new world of colour and adventure.
Yeah, and have it with like adventure and stuff. It is feeling very like CBeebies Land as well, not gonna lie.
Journey through magical places and meet some exciting new friends.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's like exciting new friends and stuff. It feels like it's going to be like a trick-or-treat town where you go around, meet different characters and things. I mean, the theming looks alright as well. But yeah, I feel like also having two of these attractions right next to each other, like it makes sense of like maybe like one was in CBeebies Land and then one was where a trick-or-treat town is. But yeah, having them literally right next to each other.
But be ready.
Yeah, and I recognise these actors, I think, as well, which is really cool.
You may encounter some less than friendly spirits along the way.
Yeah. Do we get a guitar when we go in as well? do we all get given a guitar and then we can just play it as we go around, little banjos?
Ready to journey to the beyond this Scarefest.
Yeah, I mean, again, nice idea, I think. But yeah, a little bit disappointing that we're getting another attraction like this. Don't get me wrong, I'm fine with it being a family attraction, but as I say, you had something like Darkest Depths, which was scary, but it also worked for kids and for families as well. I just feel like, I don't know, it feels like another kid thing on the lineup, which I think kind of makes sense in a way, because the last video uploaded, literally uploaded it this morning, was the Towers Time Summer Festival, and one of the talks we had was with Sean Wilson. I remembered her name this time. She was saying about they kind of had these like 3 areas that they needed to focus on, and I think it was, I can't remember what they were now, but like one was like with families and stuff. And so I feel it's like they're trying to kind of even out the areas a little bit more, meaning having like 2 more family, more very kid-friendly attractions would be good. I think, to be honest, it's more the thing with me that I kind of find it a little bit more awkward in things like Trick or Treat Town, kind of like stopping and like interacting with the actors. I kind of more prefer it in a scare attraction where you're moving through it constantly. While with this, I feel it's just going to be like a lot of meet and greets in a way. Obviously, I can't tell for sure 100%, and I'll definitely be giving it a go at least once. But I think what I might do possibly is book these as one-shots, like Trick or Treat Town and Amigos in the Afterlife. And yeah, I think I might book them as one-shots, and I think with the other tickets you can get them as just like the adult mazes and stuff, and then I might just, do laps of them, and then maybe do one-shots for ones that I particularly like Altonville, obviously. But it basically means that we're only really getting like one new proper adult attraction, which is whatever's going behind Curse at Alton Manor. Obviously with the whatever's going into the Darkest Depths site probably isn't going to happen unless that's going to be like a big surprise at the end of the day. Yes, you have Dad's Games Panic Reloaded, but that doesn't really feel like it's going to be incredibly new. And then of course you've got the Attic coming back, which, to be honest, out of the 2, I would have much preferred Darkest Depths stay than the Attic. I would have much preferred that they just stick with Darkest Depths, get rid of the Attic. Darkest Depths feels more fresh. Like, I would have much rather kept that. Anyway, let's have a look at the description. So, introducing Amigos in the Afterlife with a little skull and a little flower emoji. This Scarefest, step foot into a vibrant Dia de los Muertos? Dia de los Muertos, I don't know, celebration. So, almost kind of like Day of the Dead festival celebrations, I guess. Which, don't get me wrong, again, it's a cool idea, it's a cool theme. I remember with the crews at Mardi Gras, actually, the Voodoo crew were one of my favourites at times because I really like that theming. I don't think they always had the best performers in later years, but I remember like in the first couple of years, I really like the Voodoo Crew and stuff, so I do like that idea and theming and stuff. Guided by friendly spirits, explore a magical realm with spectacular effects, mischievous characters, and you and your family earn your way back to the living. So yeah, I feel like the person who told me that this could be quite emotional by the end of it very much said, like, depending on how they do it. I think the fact that it's not going to be a scare attraction, it's more going to be a kid-friendly attraction, yeah, I don't really think that's the way that they're going to be going with it. And I even kind of said to them that, you know, even if it was a scare attraction which didn't really have as many jump scares, it's more kind of like darker theming and storyline in a way, and kind of it makes you feel more emotion, but it still has that high level of immersion. I would have been more fine with that, and it didn't have any jump scares and stuff. But I feel like with this, it's going to be very, very Trick or Treat Town-esque, which Trick or Treat Town is a nice attraction, but it's not really what I go to the event for. But I'm sure for kids, I'm sure it'll be nice, I guess. Hopefully it'll be a really nice attraction for kids and stuff. So yeah, it's a little bit disappointing, but, you know, because I was hoping it could have been on the level of Darkest Depths. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see, but it's really not seeming like it's going to be a proper scare attraction. I'll just see on the website, though, if they've got a bit more of a longer description. Maybe that'll sway me around, I don't know. Yep, so they've got a whole bit here for it. I'll also double check the tickets as well, just to see maybe what tickets I can do and stuff. Amigos in the Afterlife. This Scarefest, step foot into a vibrant world where the gap between this life and the next is at its thinnest. Be captivated by Dia de los Muertos celebrations. I think that's Day of the Dead. The bright colours and festive spirits, but be careful, you've accidentally crossed through a portal into the afterlife, which for some reason is in the gardens. No idea why. Guided by friendly spirits, you must find your way back to the world of the living, journey through this magical realm of spectacular effects, encountering mischievous characters along the way who will challenge you and your family with tasks to earn your passage back to the living realm. Interactive walkthrough recommended for those age 6+. So yeah, this is going to be very much family based if it's 6+. I do think it's a bit of a shame as well with this going into the dungeons. Like, you could have done so much with that. You've already got like a lot of kind of horror theming in there that you could have utilized, and I feel like a lot of it is just gonna, yeah, not really get used in a way. And I think with how different it's going to be as well, much more bright and vibrant, it kind of confirms that the dungeon won't be coming back, because I think there's going to be more permanent changes to this than could be kind of rectified to bring it back to the dungeon. So yeah, I feel like the dungeon is officially gone now. But yeah, I don't know, I think it could be fun for kids, but for me personally, I would have liked something more Darkest Depths-esque, maybe something that could have used more of the features of the dungeons. I imagine at this point the boat ride might not be used. I mean, maybe the boat ride could be like, you know, your trip through to the world of the dead. You see, that could be really cool, and then have some of the actors like on the little stage platforms at the side, you know, that'd be cool. But yeah, I don't know, it's a bit I'm a bit meh about it, but we'll see. I'll certainly give it maybe a go or two, whatever. But yeah, I think I'll definitely hopefully be more excited for the next announcement that we get on the lineup. Yeah, so looking at the combis here, so this is the Fright combi for pass holder, which I'll probably get one of them. Gives you access to the Attic, Altonville, Daz Games Panic Reloaded, and the new Scare attraction that will probably be revealed next week. Pass holder discount only available between 3 PM and 1:45, Monday to Friday, and Sundays, or 1 PM to 2:45 on Saturdays. What's interesting is that you can only do it on like time slots for like an hour and a half, which is interesting. Like, it's, I'll just have a look at the other one for a second. But on the combi lates would be from 5 till 7, which is interesting. So does that suggest that the mazes aren't going to be open till 9 then? I mean, I might have a look at the Spooks and Frights combi. You can experience these in any order and any ticket scanned on your mobile. Attractions must be completed within the attraction's opening hours. But does that suggest, and also now Amigos in the Afterlife has now been added there as well, but that's interesting that it seems like it's saying that 7 o'clock would be the only time that you could do it, maybe. That is an interesting one. That it's from 3 till 7 there. Oh no, but that would actually be 3 hours on Saturdays, but then only 2 hours there. That's interesting. Unless if like the first time slot you can get is 7 o'clock, and then your 2 hour timer starts, and then you do all the other attractions. That is interesting though. So maybe they'll be closing the mazes earlier, but like that's not great. I feel like yeah, because I remember when all these tickets were announced, and yeah, it's like and also like the times for the park like closing at 8 instead of 9, and it's like, yeah, that's a bit I don't know. I think when looking at these tickets more, it's making me very, very speculative about them. Very kind of skeptical, I guess is more the better word. I'm hoping that when the final maze gets announced, they might do like one-shots and stuff, and then I might be able to tell what times they're going to be booked for. I'll just have a look on this actually. Can you actually book a specific time? Yeah, so these are the time slots that you can book. So it is literally from 3 o'clock to 4:45, but then from 4 to 45 you then complete that maze combi. So I'm assuming, and then it says like the mazes would be completed within 2 hours, which means then that combi would end at 6:45, so around 7ish. So I'm assuming with the evening combi for the lates, that would be final time slot at 7, and then that would end at 9, yeah. So I'm assuming they are still open till 9. Obviously when the park's open till 9, because obviously there's some times when it's open till 8. So yeah, I think what I'll probably do is I'll probably get a Frights combi early for pass holder, and then get a late, and then maybe do like one-shots for like Amigos in the Afterlife. I keep having to check the name, and Trick or Treat Town might do once. I would say do the dungeon, but that's closed now. Maybe like get one-shots for other stuff. I'll really have to work out like what's cheapest and what works. But yeah, I feel like they're kind of doing it in a bit weird way with the ticketing. I don't know. I mean, I said this last time, but yeah, it's kind of just more complex and complicated. I would much rather what Thorpe Park did with this kind of like frequent frights pass thing where you could just go through as many times as you want throughout the season. Yeah, that would be so helpful if Towers did that. The next time I'll probably see you is when the next thing is announced on the lineup, probably next week, so I guess I will see you then.
Early the next morning.
Okay, so it turns out it's actually the next day now. Towers decided to screw me over again. Basically, I woke up a little bit later this morning, around 10 o'clock-ish, and turns out literally as soon as I woke up, there was a notification on my phone that literally said now there's a new upload on YouTube for the new Scare Maze, so that was fun. So I'd been having to avoid my phone for all the day because I wouldn't have to do other stuff like, you know, look after myself and things. So sorry to everyone who's been messaging me, all 3 of you, for yeah, not getting back to you. I've just been trying to avoid socials and stuff. There is one thing that I did see on kind of like one of the message notifications that really helped me out, so I'll show you that after this. But yeah, the final maze has been revealed, which yeah, a little bit weird that they haven't done it like next Tuesday as I kind of predicted, around like in the evening around 4 o'clock time. I do kind of have a little bit of a theory on why this might be. It's because after yesterday when Amigos in the Afterlife was unveiled, I did see there was a lot of people who were a little bit negative about it. That's an understatement. Don't get me wrong, I did see a good few people who liked it and really liked the idea of it. A lot of people who were saying they were Trick or Treat Town stands, so yeah, I can understand with that. And as I say, I think there will be a lot of kids who like it as well, even if it's not like incredibly well themed. And then again, I think there were some people saying that it doesn't look like those bits were actually filmed in the dungeon, similar to like Daz Games Panic, or it was filmed in the Subterra building. It might have not actually be filmed in the dungeon with the proper theming and stuff like that. But I'm assuming the costumes are probably going to be the same, and even then they don't really look great. I do think that the reaction was a little bit over the top from some people. I think I can understand why it's a disappointment, you know, because, and the thing is, it's not really aimed at people like me, it's aimed at kids, so I do understand. It's not my market, it's not my demographic, so therefore I'm not going to be the most excited for it, but I think it could be a fine attraction, and I will be giving it a go, maybe at least once or twice throughout the event, depending on my funds, of course, but I think at least once. And maybe it's Scare Mazing, they might possibly include it if it is meant to be a Scare Maze, because I'll have to double check this later on. I'll go back onto the Alton Towers website, but is it meant to be a Scare Maze? Because I was thinking it was more something along the lines of Trick or Treat Town, but I have seen some bits saying it's a Scare Maze, but I'm not sure. Like, from the trailer, it doesn't look very Scare Maze-ish. It looks kind of more like character interaction, meet and greets, similar to Trick or Treat Town in a way. But anyway, that leads on to today's announcement, which I was spoilt for the title. I did have someone message me when I was talking with them, and they did say the title, so I'm assuming they maybe thought that I knew. I didn't know the title of it, but to be honest, it's a title where it's like, I would have assumed that it would have been a title like this. Is not a very kind of like out of the box one, and it's called Compound, which is in relation to the Phalanx compound. So like I kind of said in my speculation video, it could have been either Curse at Alton Manor themed or Phalanx themed or something else. And the idea with the Phalanx idea being what they were originally going to do for Daz Games Panic, where it was originally going to be a Phalanx training facility or a Phalanx training compound. So yeah, I feel like that's what this is going to be. I'm thinking possibly free roam again, you know, similar to like with Daz Games Panic, but possibly more of kind of like, because of it being a survival games building, similar to survival games where instead of getting the symbols, you are just literally just trying to find your way out. As I've always said with free roam, I mean, obviously we don't know if it's free roam yet, but until I've actually looked through the video and read through, but if it is free roam, it's very hard to get free roam done right. Survival games, I think, is genuinely one of my least favourite mazes because I didn't have the best runs through it because they couldn't keep me in there long enough, and a lot of the theming was very samey. I think at least with something like Subspecies, the theming had more variety to it. There were certain particular rooms with certain bits of theming in, while, yeah, with survival games, there were little bits of theming here and there, but it was mostly the same. I'm hoping with this, if it is a free roam one, they can give it that variety and they can keep you in there long enough, which will mean a lot of actors, which I don't know whether they've got. I've seen a little bit of this just while testing the audio, and it looks like it's going to be kind of reusing some footage of Forbidden Valley, which makes sense. You know, it's a great area to use for filming footage. But yeah, it's a minute trailer, so let's see what we've got. Yeah, so there's the Phalanx logo. There's one of them.
Phalanx Compound Center. The Phalanx have brought you here as they suspect you to be a member of the anarchist group known as Seek the Truth.
This is giving me survival games slightly.
To the Nemesis Younglings.
Oh. Nemesis Younglings. Is this filmed in the towers?
Under our jurisdiction, we are entitled to use your body as a vessel while we carry out our research.
New Dr. Kelman stand-in, I presume? Or Dr. Whittaker? Oh, I think I see what they're going to do with it. Okay. Ooh. Alright. Nice makeup. Ah, that's a cool looking logo. Alright, I'll give it that. And I'm assuming, is that an acronym maybe for something? If they could think of an acronym for Compound, that would actually be pretty impressive. I think I know what they're going to do there. I think it is going to be very survival games based, with the whole thing of you going into different cells at the start. I mean, Subspecies did a similar thing, to be fair, but it was less like in different cells, more you stood in front of a certain door, and even then, because you'd have like a group of maybe 10 to 15 people, and you'd have 5 doors, a few people would be put in front of each door, or you would kind of one at a time go in front of the doors. Meanwhile, with survivor games, you had pretty much a cage for every person, or maybe a couple of people in each cage. With this, what would be really cool is that they could have one person in like each cell. So I'm assuming that's what they're going to do. They're going to have like a bunch of cells. It would be nice if the cells, you couldn't actually see each other. I think that would be quite cool. Maybe just like a couple of you in a room or something in a cell, like it looks like they've got, and then, you know, you can't see anyone else, because in survival games the thing is you can see everyone else. And the problem is that would require more space and stuff. I mean, they have a lot of space in there. I do think this is going to be free roam. It seems like it. I like the kind of idea that it seems like you're being almost like kind of possessed by one of the alien entities. Like they said, was it something like they can inseminate an alien into you? I'll have to rewatch. But yeah, it also looks like we're getting kind of like a new Phalanx Doctor character, possibly taking over from Dr. Whittaker. Maybe it'd be nice if we could see some references to that. But yeah, I'm liking the vibes of it. I'm liking the vibes of it more than survival games. I think with survival games, with the whole social media aspect, I did get that at the start though. I got survival games vibes where they were like kind of taking a, like, you know, through the corridor and stuff like that. It reminded me of the teaser for survival games where you had this contestant going up and being like mic'd up and everything. Only with this one a lot more threatening, which I do appreciate. I feel like with the theming and storyline with this, because the Phalanx already have such a good theming and storyline, I think they can make this really good, and I think it also has a lot of menace to it, which I don't think survival games had. Survival games kind of went more with extreme, like, you know, really extreme characters and stuff, but the actual teaser didn't really give a menacing vibe to it. I think with the Phalanx, they're really going in with the menace of that, which I think really works. So anyway, we'll just have a look at the description for a second and just see that, and then I'll go through frame by frame through the trailer. So, brand new Scarefest maze compound. They really don't do much in the descriptions for these, do they? Face the Phalanx's twisted experiment where your DNA becomes their weapon. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that is quite interesting. So no, I thought it was that they kind of inseminate a creature inside you in a way, but it seems like maybe they're going to take your DNA, probably not for real, or hopefully not a blood test, because I've tried panophobia, so please don't do that. Maybe it's that they're going to take a bit of your DNA, and then that's how they make the creatures. So they take a little bit of Nemesis DNA, because he said kind of like Nemesis children, didn't they? And so, yeah, maybe like taking a bit of the Nemesis creature's DNA, a bit of your DNA, and it makes it into these creatures. That would be an interesting idea. Obviously, it wouldn't look like you, of course, but it's like it gives a reason for why these creatures exist, which I really quite like. Can you escape, or will you be their next target? Dare you find out. It is feeling very free roam. Again, it's if they can manage to do free roam well. Subspecies was very hit or miss. Survival games was mostly miss. I feel like if they could do it and really make a lot of tight, confined spaces at points, because I feel like with survival games it was quite open, but then again I think that was for accessibility as well, so that does make sense. But yeah, I feel like not necessarily having it tight then, but trying to have a little bit more variety with the rooms, you know, try and fit as much as you can in there. I think that's where the reason why I'm kind of saying like have tight spaces, because it means you can fit more in there. I feel like the problem with survival games was it lacked the variety because you couldn't fit as much in, even though it was quite a big building. But I do get that for accessibility, so that does make sense. But yeah, I'm more excited for this than I was with Amigos in the Afterlife. So yeah, this does excite me. I think it's a shame that it's only one new attraction, but I think it's because they must have like underestimated something with the other Darkest Depths one, and so therefore they couldn't do it, unless that's just going to be like a massive surprise or something that they are going to reveal maybe next week. I doubt it. Otherwise it would have been on the ticketing thing, and I think because of something else that got released today as well, that might explain that this is the final thing on the lineup. So let's go through the trailer once again and go through frame by frame. So we got the Forbidden Valley logo, which I remember on opening day I could not tell that these tentacles and stuff were meant to spell out Forbidden Valley, which is crazy, but yeah, it took me ages to figure that out. You got that lovely lit up, and I am wondering where the entrance for this is going to be though. I'm thinking like maybe the kind of like the gates next to the Nemesis entrance, but then to get all the way round to the bit, you know, where the big tent is, like it would be a long way to go. So I am wondering where the entrance to this is going to be, but I do think having it near to Forbidden Valley, in Forbidden Valley, with all that theming as well, I think it would work great. I do like the logo for this though. I want to really focus on that when we get to the end of it. Yeah, the big Forbidden Valley logo lit up lovely. Then you got one of these phalanx operatives. I don't know whether these ones have a specific name or not, because they're like in the different armor and stuff. I'm assuming we'll see more of these. I think these would work perfect, at least in kind of like the batching of the maze and stuff like that, and even in the maze, possibly just make them look a bit more battered and beaten and some makeup and stuff. I think that would work really well. So yeah, so we got this guy. There we go. We've got a normal, kind of more normal phalanx operative. Those caps do look pretty cool, to be fair, with the embroidering. You know, with this cool shades on. This kind of looks more like one of the characters from like Subterra in a way, like one of the ones that bat you and stuff. So that would make sense. And then there's another one. I think these are one of the other ones in like the kind of red armor and stuff. This does look like it's in the towers though, possibly in the subspecies area, or it's a long corridor, so maybe the subspecies area, or I know there is the final Altonville corridor, like there's the big skin corridor just after Jars, and just before the gift shop at the end. But I'm assuming the theming would still be up for that, because Tiny's Revenge is returning, so maybe this is the bit in subspecies, I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember like the towers and kind of the layout of it and stuff.
Compound Center. The Phalanx have brought you here as they suspect you to be a member of the anarchist group known as Seek the Truth.
I do like that, how they're bringing that into it though. That's really cool that they're bringing in the whole idea that you'll seek the truth and things. That's really awesome. Unfortunately, I probably won't be wearing a Phalanx pin badge this time to prove my allegiance, because yeah, I will be in costume, so I won't have that. So let's just listen to that bit again.
This is the Phalanx Compound Center. The Phalanx have
So the compound center, so it's not that it is like I mean it probably is like a compound itself as well, but I'm thinking with it having those hyphens in between, I think it's going to be an acronym for something. As you can see, she's in handcuffs. I don't know whether they will actually do that or not. I don't know whether they will actually handcuff you. I think that would be a bit of a health and safety nightmare and stuff, and it would probably slow down batching and stuff as well, so they probably wouldn't do that, but you never know, for immersion and realism. I mean, I think if they tell you to put them on yourself, for one thing, most people would not be able to do it, but also, why would you put cuffs on yourself? Like,
brought you here as they suspect you to be a member of
yeah, this does look like a bit of the towers though. I mean, it would make sense if it was, like, you know, why not film in there? She looks very scared, and again, one of these kind of phalanx operatives in all the armor and stuff. Again, I think they'll work really well for the maze if they utilise them. But hopefully still have enough for the whole Forbidden Valley area as well. Hopefully.
Of the anarchist group known as Seek the Truth.
Do we get a name for this Doctor character? It seems like a new kind of, maybe someone like a higher up from Dr. Whittaker or something, or like someone working on this project separately. Who knows?
Compound is also the home to the Nemesis Younglings.
And then Nemesis Younglings, there you go. So maybe that's the thing. So maybe because this is in a different area, it's a different person kind of overseeing it in a way. So that makes sense. I imagine this woman's going to be on the pre-show. It might be a similar pre-show to like Project 42, where they had like a guy on a screen who would just talk to you. Similar to survival games, to be honest, where they had a guy on a screen. Similar to Subspecies, where they had a guy on a screen who was basically like the guy from Mad Max, only less good and with a Darth Vader breathing voice behind it. Honestly, it wasn't a very good pre-show to kind of get you into it. It basically looked like Count Binface, if you know who he is, only even worse somehow. But luckily after that the maze did pick up. But yeah, it'll be interesting to find out who this character is. It's a cool costume as well that she's wearing. Hold on, it's like kind of reminds me of like Dr. Evil. Hold on.
Seek the Truth. Compound is also...
There you go, like this kind of, yeah, kind of like Dr. Evil with like the grey full suit and stuff, so that's cool. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who this character is, and I'm assuming a doctor or professor of some sort who's overseeing this compound with the Nemesis Younglings, which, yeah, that's interesting. So that kind of links more to Subterra in a way. So like, you know, they kind of hatch out the eggs in Subterra, and then this is probably where they go to, and then they grow up to be the Nemesis creature itself for the ride Nemesis. It will be cool to do Nemesis Reborn in the Dark as well at Scarefest. That'd be cool.
the home to the Nemesis Younglings.
God, you're doing a good acting job, love. Well done. Not overacting at all. I mean, to be fair, she's doing great. It is interesting that they do have some permanent lighting in here, so I'm assuming it must be in the towers, yeah, because it's the only bit where I can feel like they'd have this, unless they filmed it off-site somewhere. I imagine it's the towers, though.
Whilst under our jurisdiction, we are entitled to...
I mean, also, that actually... Hold on. This actually looks like some theming from either something like the Attic or Altonville, possibly, especially with it looking like sad some bloodstains and stuff, so maybe it could literally be there's a maze right here, and then this is just a corridor off. I mean, the towers do have like a lot of long corridors with rooms to the side, so it's kind of perfect for something like this with different cells and stuff.
Whilst under our jurisdiction, we are entitled to use your body as a vessel while we carry out our research.
I do like that idea. It kind of gives a bit more of a darkness to it, which I really quite like. That, yeah, you know, you're their prisoners, so they can do what they want with you in a way. So, yeah, I kind of like that. I like how this is kind of... It doesn't feel like it's pulling its punches in any way, which I kind of appreciate. So, yeah, it's, again, making me feel a lot better than I felt yesterday. Hold on, what did that say? Oh, that's turning the volume down. That's not. I muted it. Don't do that. Oh, I've muted the video. God damn it, no. Right, no, I want to go back. Apparently the M button does mute. God damn it. Right, so let's see. So there's the cell. It's interesting, the cell numbers as well. Cell 2023, is that meant to be? And then cell 2019. Is that meant to be a reference to something? 2020? You know, different years. I don't know. And then camera offline. And then critical alert, compound outbreak. Phalanx officers report to lockdown positions. Again, 2009, 2013. They're meant to be specific dates for things. They're probably things that I can't... I mean, Smiler opening 2009. I mean, 13 was 2008. And then 2019 didn't really have any big... reveal, did it? I mean, the dungeon, I guess. And then 2023, Curse Alton Manor, maybe? I don't know. I'm trying to find Easter eggs or something, but this is making me think Phalanx officers report to lockdown positions. I'm thinking when everything goes wrong, the Phalanx kind of leave you and like go to their lockdown positions, and then you're just left on your own, and then the creatures come and attack you. Yeah, so they get attacked while they're going to their lockdown positions and stuff, so that'd be cool. So you can hear them like screaming off in the distance and these creatures, and then you're just left on your own. That'd be so cool. That's a cool shot. Yeah, and then kind of corrupted footage. Oh, and these sound effects as well really well. It sounds like some of the stuff from Nemesis Subterra with like the kind of sticky tentacles and stuff. And here we go. This does look quite cool. Then again, it is very zoomed in, but I think this actually looks like a pretty cool makeup, to be fair, with the teeth and everything. Yeah, this looks pretty cool. I can imagine maybe like some of the soldiers kind of being like taken over in a way, so like, you know, you have some of them like in phalanx armor, similar to Project 42 in a way, where you had like the zombies kind of in like, you know, normal clothing and stuff. So you had some of them in like, you know, general clothing, and some of them as like nurse clothing, some of them as like phalanx uniform and stuff. So I could see something like that, or they might just be like full-on creatures like they had in Subspecies, you know, those kind of alien creatures, which I never saw once, and they weren't actually that threatening, to be honest. They looked a little bit goofy, but with this it's like proper, you know, kind of prosthetic makeup and stuff. It looks like not like the most kind of advanced. You can see here some of the skin underneath. I think it looks pretty good though, especially in this lighting and stuff, all close up, the sharp teeth and everything. I think with this as well, if it's like a load of mutations from different experiments, you could do so much variety in the different looks of characters. So I'm hoping there's a big variety. This is what I'm saying about, you know, I want there not just to be like a variety in the rooms, a variety of the characters, like the different things you can meet. You know, some of them in prosthetics like this, some of them in like full face masks, you know, maybe one of them kind of like the Davy Jones ending at the end of Darkest Depths, where it's like a full-on costume where it's like you can't really move much, but there's like, you know, a lot of big bits to it. Like that would be really cool, like a load of like mutated creatures and stuff, but kind of based on the Nemesis creature. Maybe even like kind of a big, I don't know if they could do it with the budget, like a big animatronic effect or something of like a massive creature. That'd be cool. So, and there's the logo, and that kind of red smoke and stuff. Maybe that's something that they use to kind of mutate. So there's maybe like a canister of like mutation stuff. I do like this logo though, and I think if they do like a big like 3D version of this logo on the entrance, that'll look really cool. It's a compound. I wonder if this is an acronym for something that they'll probably mention in the pre-show. It's going to be a challenge for them to do an acronym for that, because it's so many words, but I could see it, to be fair. That'd be cool. And yeah, so yeah, this kind of looks like a vial of something that maybe that's what they use to, you know, do the mutations and stuff with you. But yeah, I'm really liking this idea of them using you as a test subject, but then everything goes wrong, and then you have to try and find your way out of this testing facility. That's a really cool idea, actually, I think. Yeah, I'm glad that at least, you know, even though we're getting the one new attraction, the one new proper scare attraction, at least from my knowledge, as I say, I'm not 100% sure about Amigos in the Afterlife, whether that is a scare attraction or not, but the only proper new adult attraction that we're getting, it seems pretty solid to me, to be honest, and yeah, I'm hoping it works really well. So, do we get anything more after this? No Alton Towers logo, no. But yeah, overall, I'm really liking the look of this, so I'll go to the Alton Towers website to see if there's more of a full description. Might even tell us what this kind of doctor scientist's name is, possibly, who knows. Here we go, so we got much more of an in-depth description here. So, Compound, a terrifying new live-action scare maze. Compound, there's commas there. Bravely step forward and find yourself a subject of the Phalanx. Oh, there's the logo. Hello. Guarded by their relentless operatives, you're plunged into a sinister sci-fi experiment where your DNA is their next weapon. Yeah, so I'm thinking this kind of idea of them using your DNA to splice with the Nemesis creature's DNA, or like the youngling's DNA. That'd be cool. Are things really as in control as they seem? Can you escape their clutches, or will you be their next target for the experiments lurking within? So yeah, kind of the idea that they are imprisoning you for being, you know, seek the truth, but then while they imprison you and they're about to do these experiments on you, something goes wrong and suddenly all hell breaks loose and you have to try and find your way out. That sounds like a really cool, fun idea. Compound is an intense and disorientating, I can speak, scare maze set within an intimidating phalanx facility featuring dark and claustrophobic environments amongst the hallways and chambers of their labs. Dare you enter this scientific nightmare? Again, I'm liking the idea that they have this very specific theming of it being like a scientific, they have laboratories and stuff like that. With survival games, it felt very much like very kind of nebulous in a way, where it's like, oh, you're doing these social media challenges to try and, like, you know, get your verification tick and stuff. I'm sure Elon Musk loved that. There wasn't really a very specific thing as to what it is, like what are the, there's like Yvivel, I think it was, or Yvivel, which was like the social media platform, but it's like you have these assassins hunting you, like it's a very kind of generic, generalized thing, while with this it's more specific, like they are younglings of the Nemesis creature, these are the Phalanx operatives, there will be this specific doctor character that you see. I feel like it's going to be a bit more like of a specific version of survival games, hopefully with a lot better theming, a lot more variety. It does also say 12 plus still, so it's still going to be the same level of scare, but I think, to be fair, like Altonville used to be 15 plus. I believe the Attic used to be 15 plus actually in the earlier days, and they've all gone down to 12 plus, even though Tiny's Revenge, I would argue, is a lot darker than the original Altonville. And so I feel like if they did subspecies nowadays, that would also be 12 plus. So I feel like if this is free roam, they could still say it's 12 plus. But yeah, overall I really am quite excited for this, certainly more than the Amigos in the Afterlife. I keep having to try and remember the name of that. I feel like the hate on that was a little bit overboard, but it's not the one that I'm most enthused about. But there was another thing that was quite exciting, which was released today, which I'll just find now, which is this here, which is the Unlimited Frights Pass for pass holders. So this is something which I was really hoping they were going to do. Afterthought did it, where they did, I believe it was the Frequent Fears pass or something, which I believe they've all sold out now because there is this limit to 100, which I think is just to try and make it a little bit more limited edition, I guess. I don't know. And also I think because it looks like they print out physical passes and give you lanyards, they don't want to have to produce too many of them, I guess. I don't know. Exclusive to 100 passes. Thankfully, Chloe, she was one of the ones who messaged me this morning. I did see one of her messages and she said there's a new ticket, you might want to check it out. So I have checked this out. I have purchased one myself because I do think some people will look at the £120 price tag and go, that's a lot of money. With the amount of times I can go to Scarefest, luckily I can just get there quite easily. I can go on the bus, get a lift back. A lot of the time, it means I can go more often. This really helps me out a lot because it means I don't have to plan out specific mazes and stuff and like specific tickets that I have to get. I can just do it all in one payment, go through as many times as I want throughout the day. And if I go more specifically into the details of this, if you actually go into the booking thing for it. Here we go. So the Unlimited Frights Pass gives the named and photographed person unlimited access to the Attic, Altonville Mine Tours, Daz Games Panic Reloaded, and Compound during May's opening hours. So it doesn't include Amigos in the Afterlife or Trick or Treat Town, but then again, I'd probably do them just as one-shots anyway. I probably wouldn't do them as often, unless if Amigos in the Afterlife is somehow really good. But even though I don't mind doing, one-shots for that, I'm assuming they won't be too much. But yeah, so for me, someone who's mainly going to do all the adult attractions, this is something that definitely really helps me out quite a bit. It's interesting that it's recommended for ages 13 plus, even though it's 12 plus for all the attractions. I don't know why that's the case. It's a really helpful thing for me. As I say, I'll be going multiple times. I know certainly I should be going on the opening Friday because on the Saturday, I believe Saturday the 12th, I'll be at Tully's Shocktoberfest, so I won't be able to do the opening Saturday, but I will be able to do the opening Friday. Then there's Scare Mazing on the 19th, where we should already have a lineup of mazes available to us, but it means, if I want to go and do any other mazes, or if the group I'm with wants to do some other maze run-throughs, I can just go through, scan my pass, and just go in whenever. I'm hoping maybe to go for Halloween, but also I've got other people that I'm probably going to want to meet up with during the season who can probably go on different days. This means I can basically go on any day, do a free pre-book on my Merlin Annual Pass, and you don't even have to pre-book for this. I don't think you can just show up with your pass and go straight in as many times as you want. It says unlimited access throughout the opening hours between 11th and 3rd of November. You must collect a physical pass from the box office. Prior to your entry, passes are available to collect from the 5th of October. I'm thinking I might do a quick little trip before Scarefest happens, just to maybe get some last minute updates, but also just to collect this before the day, so that means I'll already have it straight away. The passes must be used in conjunction with a valid Alton Towers or Merlin Annual Pass, plus pre-booked park entry ticket. This pass does not give access to the theme park during exclusion dates. If your annual pass is not valid on the day of a visit, then you must upgrade a ticket. Yeah, so basically, if you don't have an entry to the park, you can't use that pass as well. You have to have your Merlin Annual Pass as well. I have a Platinum, so I can go in any day, so it's fine. The Unlimited Frights Pass does not extend the expiry of your annual pass and does not qualify for a renewal price. Misuse of the pass may result in suspension from the pass. Misuse includes not limited to attempting another person or selling the pass. Yeah, so all that general garb that they normally have. Theme park and entry scare maze restrictions apply. This pass does not give you instant access to each scare maze. Yeah, so I believe with there's kind of like a VIP package where there's like a fast track, which I assume might give you instant access. That's not what this is. I'm more than happy for that. To be honest, I'm fine to stand in a queue line. Sometimes standing in the queue lines are the best parts of these events because I get to talk to people who get really freaked out by me being in costume and ask if I work on park. But yeah, maze opening hours are 1 till 9 p.m, 12 to 19, blah blah blah. 3 till 9 p.m. I think that's kind of on like weekdays and stuff. I think it's mainly this on weekends. And then 3 till 8 p.m. on these dates as well. It said unlimited access to all 4 fright mazes at Scarefest. And I believe it said somewhere else as well. Did it actually say on it that you can use it whenever throughout the day? Like there isn't a specific time you have to use it between the opening hours. Yeah, so it basically means that you can go whenever you want. And the problem with the Spooks and Frights pass was that you could go through whenever you want, but then you also have to have Trick or Treat Town and Amigos in the Afterlife added on to that as well. You couldn't just do the Frights pass and go whenever you want. You'd have to either do an early or a late. This means I can do the mazes whenever I want on whatever day. And an advantage to the Thorpe one that they did, which was the Frequent Fears pass. The reason why that was a bit cheaper, I think, is because you had to either do it as an early or a late. You couldn't do both, so you'd technically have to buy 2 of them if you wanted to any time. Well, with this, it's any time you want throughout the season. I think for a slightly longer season as well. I'm not sure whether this is actually longer than Fright Nights or not, but yeah, this really helps me out. Again, it's not for everyone. I understand if you're only visiting Scarefest once or twice, this might not be good for you, but for me, I will probably be going quite a bit. It is technically my local park, so yeah, considering that I won't be doing Fright Nights this year. I was going to be doing Fright Nights originally after Tully's, but I had to change plans and stuff. But having Tully's, which is going to hopefully be a really amazing thing, getting to meet up with Joe again as well is going to be really fantastic. And having this pass as well, just to go through mazes whenever I want. I will admit, there are some criticisms I have about Scarefest this year, but I think this is a really good idea, and actually making it so you can go through whenever you want. I do think limiting it to 100's a bit meh, but I got mine straight away, so I'm sorted. And yes, I might try and pick it up beforehand. But yeah, I think overall with the Scarefest lineup this year, it is a bit of a shame that they couldn't manage to get the Darkest Depths one done in time. I'm assuming that isn't just a surprise. I think they would have said it was another maze, you know, before, you know, releasing tickets and stuff, and especially before releasing that unlimited Scare Maze pass. I don't think they would now announce another one on top of that unless it was something for free. Maybe like another Scare Zone or something. Who knows? But yeah, but I think the thing in the Darkest Depths building isn't going to be done in time, which is a shame, but hopefully it can be done for next year. Who knows? But I think for the new attractions that we've got, I think, for starters with the returning ones, Altonville I'm happy about. Panic, hopefully having some updates and upgrades, that would be nice. Burial Grounds, hopefully getting a few little tweaks and stuff. That's good as well, and I think having that as a free attraction, that helps too. The Attic, while it is a good attraction, I would have rather not have the Attic and have all the production and budget and actors and stuff go towards the other mazes rather than have the Attic come back. But I don't know, it would be nice to still go back up there. It's still always a beautiful maze, and it does have a good storyline stuff, can have some good scares, especially in that finale with Satan and stuff. And there were a few, a couple of little additions that they added to near the end last year, so hopefully they get kept in. And who knows, maybe there's loads of new stuff in there as well. Trick or Treat Town as well, I might do it once, I don't know. And then Amigos in the Afterlife, we'll have to see how it's going to be, but I do think it's going to be very kid-focused, not like a Darkest Depths level of scare attraction. That was actually what I was going to check as well, wasn't it? Does it say Scare Maze on here? Bright colours, festive spirits, festive guided by friendly spirits, spooky effects. To be fair, spectacular effects, that should hopefully be nice. Interactive, see, it says interactive walkthrough there, which gives me more Trick or Treat Town vibes. Also, it's interesting that they haven't started selling one-shots yet either, but yeah, I don't think it says here, but I do think I saw a reply to a comment on either Twitter or Instagram where someone asked if this was going to be, what type of attraction this was going to be, and Towers did respond saying a family scare maze. So, I mean, if it can have some quite light scares and stuff and actually have you, I think more kind of going through at a constant pace, through a scare maze, that would be nice. I think if it's something like Trick or Treat Town again, I think it just sometimes gets a little bit awkward having those interactions, especially when you're in there as an adult and you don't have any kids with you. Kind of does get a little bit awkward at that point. Hopefully it'll be good. I don't know. Just try and make it nicely themed and not look really cheap. And then Compound, I'm quite excited for, I have to admit. Would I have liked to curse at Alton Manor Maze? Yes. Do I like that we're getting this kind of phalanx, you know, mutated creatures maze in a laboratory and stuff? Yes, I like that as well. I bet you as well they're going to do like a massive phalanx logo on the outside, like they did for survival games on the outside of the tent and stuff. Can't wait to see like the logo for like the maze and stuff, like hopefully do a 3D one, which would be really cool, like they have for the other mazes. But yeah, I think it looks really exciting though. I'm really hoping they can pull it off really well. And if it is free roam, hopefully they can do it well with that. Just make it really immersive, really well themed, have some variety, and try and keep us in there long enough. Like, I think if you could keep us in there for like a good like 7 minutes, like with Panic, then I think they'll be doing a good job. So anyway, I'm tired now after doing all these lineup reactions and stuff. I don't think there's going to be anything else being announced. I think also I didn't really say, did I? Kind of like my overall thoughts on the lineup. I think, in a way, it's a bit of an improvement from last year, but also a little bit of a downgrade in other elements. Like, you got rid of Darkest Depths instead of the Attic, the fact that it is only one new attraction. But then again, last year, there was only really one new attraction and one that was kind of tweaked and updated. So I guess it's kind of the same thing. So I would say it's pretty on par. I think it also depends on if there's going to be any roaming teams, if the shows are going to be any new, if they can have some more park-wide theming. A lot of that is going to depend. But I think right now it's kind of on par, but there's still new stuff, which is good. And I think I'm definitely more excited for Compound than I was for Panic last year. So I guess that's a plus. So maybe slightly better, but I think mostly on the same level. So anyway, it's going to take a while to edit this now. I was looking through the other recordings for like half an hour a piece. So this could be like a 2-hour video. That's going to be fun. But yeah, next video on the channel, God knows what it's going to be. Probably Oktoberfest, to be honest. Probably that. Getting some Scarefest construction updates and stuff while I'm there as well. Hopefully. I should be going on opening day on the 7th of October with a few peeps, which should be nice. So I imagine that's probably going to be the next video. So until Alton Towers Oktoberfest, I will see you next time. Bye.